Hello everyone, this is actually not going to be a Corbo video. I'm doing pretty good on this. I feel like I finished, this is a pretty good panel for me to start with for Cersei sort of gloating over his plan working out. He has like a name tag on his lab coat. I want to do some world building though, and I think world building is one of those things that's a lot of fun to do when you're trying to come up with a new comic book idea. So hang on 1 second, we're going to start sharing screens. I want to show you some cool tricks. Alright, so this is plainoldbing.com, and it has this service called Copilot. It looks like a Q, but it's meant to be Copilot for whatever it is. And basically under the covers, this is ChatGPT. Now let me move my iPad aside. I want to develop, actually, how about, I want to do some world building for an epic comic series I am thinking of creating in the future. But I don't really have this super well planned out, so we're just going to see what comes out. I need some help with brainstorming and organizing. So here's the thing, and I know that AI is very controversial. In this case, we're only using it for brainstorming and organizing, and you'll see how we use it. It'll help give you things to riff off of, but your ideas should be your own ideas. So an epic comic series, yeah, so brainstorming and organizing. It's going to give me, come here now, click on Copilot. And it's going to give me all this stuff about defining the genre and tone. This is stuff that I kind of know as an author and creator. Okay. So we can stop it responding. We understand all that stuff. Now what I want to do, I have this thing over here. This is a fantasy world that combines a far future alien planetoid. I kind of had this idea of like Edgar Rice Burroughs meets Dark Crystal, right? So it's going to combine a far future alien planetoid with a cruel desert and exotic jungle setting and an extensive underworld of lush caves. So that kind of defines our world. And then a forgotten civilization lying in ruins. There's going to be secrets to the world. And a few mega powerful entities known as Watchers who control these giant crystal towers, Saurians, and by this I mean dinosaurs. I mean dinosaur-like creatures, gigantic, reptilian, where is it? Megafauna. Roam the world. Bizarre gas pods float in certain areas, creating islands of plant mass. Certain areas, perhaps underground. Add that in there. Hardscrabble barbarians, animal people, and a few adventurers end up there as well. The adventurers come from different worlds and end up in the world by mistake or perhaps through misadventure or exile. So that's the idea for the comic. Is that, of course, we're going to follow the adventures of the adventurers. In my mind, the tone is a mix of Edgar Rice Burroughs Barsoom mixed with Jim Henson's Dark Crystal. Okay. Hardscrabble. Maybe my barbarians are troll barbarians. Troll barbarians. What else can we add into this? Oh. Let's start with this. We'll give it this one and we'll see what it comes up with. And it's going to give us something we don't know. Okay, it usually does this thing where it's gonna give us a little outline. Okay, the world is a planetoid. It's got desert, it's got jungle, it's got underworld caves. Oh, let's add submarines to the mix too. I think there should be a thing where there's submarines, like maybe one of the factions has like access to sort of steampunk technology, but like, you know, some Jules Verne-esque hammered copper submarines or something. Okay. Tone and atmosphere. Okay, so it's building this thing, and I wanted to go ahead and let it build the entire thing. And let's come up with, okay, now it's coming to an end of its thing. Now, remember, we don't care. This thing doesn't have any ideas. AI does not have any ideas, and you should just let go of your prejudices in that way, because you're going to be the one giving it the ideas. It's really just going to give you, like I said, organizing and brainstorming assistance here. So the world is a planetoid. How can we have desert and jungle? I guess you can. And plus the caves. Ruins, watchers, lost knowledge. So there has to be magic on this world, as well as far future lost technology. And one of the tribes, one of the civilizations, has access to some kind of submarine type vehicle. People end up on this world via magical portal, or perhaps falling through a black hole. The dangers on this world include the savage Saurians. The Saurians, the savage tribes, which there be a bunch of. The Celestials. And what else could be a danger on this world? Saurian, savage tribes, Celestials. And perhaps there's an other dimensional threat of some kind of dark spirit, which could be one of Celestials, right? Oh, how about the ruined technology? The Celestials, perhaps some ruined doomsday technology. Like robot tanks. Some kind of dark spirit that's there. Dark or evil spirit. And with each little dollop that you start to add to this, it's going to try and organize it into this outline, which can be a lot of fun. So by adding submarine vehicles, I've obviously got more than just the deserts, the jungle, and the underground. Well, maybe the oceans are all underground, like you have to go under, like into the underworld to get them. All right, so it's come up with other things. Character hooks. Oh, it's even give me some character hooks. Okay. We don't care about this too much, although some of these are kind of cool. I already had an idea for my antagonist. Tones and themes. This is a pretty good suggestion. Now, this would work also if you had just a partner, somebody like a human person that you could just, riff ideas off of. Ancient versus future, magic versus technology, light versus shadow, right? We got all these different contrasts. Okay, so my first antagonist for the comic is a disembodied, a gigantic. Let's make it gigantic. Disembodied brain in a crystal pod at the top of one of these futuristic towers. This is the celestial. This is the remnant of the celestial. Does EO work? I think EO is actually something from a comic book. How about have to come up with a name. Now, by the way, coming up with a name, I'm going to open up another tab real quick. FantasyNameGenerators.com. I highly recommend this website. So you can look in pop culture, which has everything from Lovecraftian names. Maybe that's our celestial is. Let's see if we like any of these. Malgust. Gost. I kind of like this one, but I'd change it. That's good. Let's change it. I like to change things. Celestial Malgust. Maybe we can put in a Mahau. I like Malgust. It's like ghost, an evil ghost. What's a word for dark? For right now we're going to use Malgust. Okay. Okay. Malgust has slept in this disembodied state for eons. And a mishap. And this is the mishap I have in mind is like at the top of this crystal tower. It's kind of like an insect comes and like lands on some of the ruins and its wings brush some sand from the computer terminal, and that's the thing that awakens. So it's just complete happenstance that the reawakening of Malgust reawakens. I'll explain that later. Reawakens Malgust, who immediately decides to create a new body for itself. It tries to create a psionic chrysalis. And takes over a series of half-ruined, crumbling automatons in the Crystal Tower. That's the heroes run across the automatons. And learn of the plan, and that's how the story begins. Okay. So it's actually trying to set things up. It's got like scenes and stuff like this. Now I already have it doesn't know what I really want to do with it, so it's got a couple of ideas. I shall wear flesh once more. I think that's a good line. I might use something like that. All right, so let's talk about our heroes now. Now, when it comes up with ideas, it seems to like to jump right to the end of the let's resolve the story immediately. Where I'm thinking of, I'm trying to create a world here. Okay, all right. So now let's talk about the heroes. All right, the heroes. I think there should be 3, and they should each be different. So one could be Starship Captain, perhaps with cybernetic enhancements. One could be a young sorcerer who ends up here by mistake, and one is a animal person, a primitive native of the world. So we have, because we're trying to equally mix in, elements of Tarzan and John Carter, Warlord of Mars, and, the Gelflings, and ElfQuest and stuff like that. So these are our 3. Can you come up with 3 possible names and descriptions for each character? Now it's going to give me some pretty cliched ideas, but it might give you something that you can riff off of, so you go ahead and throw that in there. And this trick right here where you say, give me some possibles. Rigel Voss. I like the R and the V. I'm going to say something other than that. Lyra Dawnweaver. So a female sorceress, and then Kale Suncloth. Oh, I got a better idea for the creature. All right, hang on. Okay. Let's rename the Starship Captain. I like the R and the V. The Starship Captain Ran Vanier. And let's rename the Sorceress as... what did they call her? Lyra Dawnweaver, that sucks. Let's rename the character as... let's use a different word, a different letter. We can go to our... hang on. Got a name generator right here. This is non-magic usernames. You don't have to use, we could actually go straight to the D&D names or the sorceress names or the whatever. But let's look around here. Maybe there's something that jumps out at us. Elf names is a possibility. Fairy court names. Fairy names. I wonder what fairy court names is. The Vapor Throne. Okay, this is just okay, that's not what we want. We could also do places and locations or real names. Let's say we want historic, biblical, right? Something biblical for her. Female. Abiel. All right, whoops, I don't want that. I like this, Abiel. Or Darda. I think Abiel. Okay. Abiel. On our non-human creature, are you familiar with H. Beam Piper's Little Fuzzy? Later on, the fuzzies appeared as a race in the Ultima 4 computer game by Lord British. I am thinking a hobbit-sized, fuzzy humanoid with golden fur and large nocturnal eyes. The name could be something like, oh, I don't know. How about you think they have Star Wars names? Do they have one for Ewoks? Like an Ewok, right? A Jawa. How about a Jawa? Like a Jawa name? What's a Jawa name? Those are crazy names. Those are real crazy. Those are too crazy for me. Let's pick out one like Dryad names. They're kind of Greek. I like that. Nareen. That's a good one. I'm actually kind of thinking like Land of the Lost, where they have Chaka, Hardtree, Caparis, Pycius, Plumeria. RuneScape, Shadowrun. How about Chronicles of Narnia? What would a mole's name be? These are like those names where you get compound words. Grotto bead. That might be a good name for the so the fuzzy guy. He might be something like that. Ferncap, Gillybow, parsnip scarf. Bullcup, cabbage moss. Rose mitten. Let's see. I like all of these, but I think those are a little bit too cute. But I want to do something similar. Let's go back to Chronicles of Narnia and go to something a little tougher. How about a fawn? Fawns have Roman names like Tumnus. No, I don't like any of those. So you could spend a lot of time kind of finding stuff on here. A Gelfling name. Alright, that's fine. One more. I'm going to do one more try, and then we're just going to leave it. I've never played Skylander. Oh, no. Alright. One more name. Let's try a Dragonkin. I like Ethu. Ethu. Alright, let's throw this on there. Something like Ethu. Alright. Ethu carries a bow. Ran has his blaster, which is well, he just has his blaster. It's basically solar powered or something, which he can recharge at the ruins of his ship. And oh, what's the sorceress's name? I forgot already. Abiel. Abiel has a sentient grimoire that's like a book with a personality that can fly. I have this idea of a cartoony book that opens and closes and stuff. Flaps around. Alright, Captain Ranveneer. We'll probably rename the ship too. They said the ship is called the Nova Serpent, which that's an idea, but I don't know if I like it. They gave the grimoire a name of Astrum, which I think is fine. I think that's a good name. And it's kind of funny. They renamed our fuzzy Ethu Sunclaw, which I think that's an okay name as well. Sunclaw. Let's see. All right. Awaits their arrival. Okay. So there has to be some strange secrets locked in the desert and underground and deep in the jungles, overgrown with vines and such. These are like stone symbols and glyphs. And Malgast is seeking them out to help build the psionic chrysalis. And he's using automatons to gather the pieces. Okay. Like I said, this thing is going to want to jump to the thing where it's going to try and write the story for you. It's not what you want it to do. You just want it. You're going to be the one giving it the ideas here. The desert glyphs, weathered obelisk. That's a cool idea. I could draw that. And this is kind of cool. To build the psionic chrysalis, the captain needed the alignment of stars, the pulse of ley lines, and the deserts. No, not the captain. You got this wrong. Did I say this? Malgast is not the captain. See, it's easily confused. Sun Dagger Petroglyph. Okay. And it's given me these are some real world photos. This is not image generation. This is actually images it gathers from around the web. So anyways, this is how you can kind of come up with world building for a story to build a world with. And it can kind of help you get started and kick off your story. And then where it goes is whatever you decide. And the way I like to do it, hang on for a second, I'll show you a little bit about my story philosophy. So, my story philosophy, hang on. Well, this comic is as good an example as any of them. Every page that you do, you're going to start on a shot where you can show an establishing shot, but you've got to end on a clear beat. So every page is like its own story, where it's got sort of an ending beat. And this one, it starts out, they're in the sub, explore. This is with Corbeau, by the way, and they find the hidden lab, and then they start heading up the stairs. I'll keep an eye out. What does the gateway look like? Oh, you'll know when you see it. So that's how I came up with this one. Now this is, by the way, the same room where the battle that's taking place in the current Corbeau comic. But I want to do something new. Like I said, I want to do this sort of Edgar Rice Burroughs meets Jim Henson kind of story. So maybe that's in my future. I had another one. I had a couple other ideas, and one I even drew a couple of pages for. I'll show you one of those. I think it's... Could it be here? No, it's not. It's not there either. Oh, maybe it's over here. Nope. Yeah, it is. Which was Lila and the Nightmare King. And in this one, it's sort of this dream world, where, you know, I've developed my things. And you can spend a lot more time developing each character and developing your world and developing your villains and your antagonists and your plots and your architecture and different details and kind of imagining different things. What I like to draw a lot is crazy environments. So, you know, I'm thinking about what the world's going to look like, what the characters are going to look like, and what the stakes for the adventure are. It got me thinking. I've set most of my stuff in this sort of linked world called Figment since I started doing comics in 2019, and I'm thinking I might start putting that aside and try to develop a new world to do things with. Anyways, so please like, follow, and subscribe, and I will see you later. I'm going to go ahead and do some more Corbeau, but probably off camera because I've gone over 30 minutes already. So easy enough to do. I'll be back tomorrow.